Hey everyone, it's Deja with knitandcrocheteverafter.com, and today is the Bitchin blocks stitch pattern. I like my 80s slang. I'm continuing on. Download the pattern below. I'll talk about the pattern and this sample more after we do the stitches, but right now we're going to get started. Okay, so our multiple for this pattern is 4 plus 3. So depending on how wide you want it, you're going to multiply your foundation chain by 4 and then add 3. So for this sample, I did 11 stitches so we can get through it nice and fast. So our first row is pretty easy. We're going to start in the second chain from our hook, and we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going to single crochet in the, whoops, if I can actually do a single crochet. And then we're going to do a single crochet in the next chain. And then our repeat begins. We're going to chain 2 and skip our next 2 chains below. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 in each of the next chain again. And we're just gonna repeat that across. So again, I'm going to chain 2. Oops. I keep losing my yarn. Skip 2, 1, 2, and then those last 2 stitches are just going to be single crochets, and then we'll be ready for row 2, which is the beginning of the repeat. So it's a 2-row repeat. Rows 2 and 3 will just be done over and over again to make the stitch pattern. So we'll get ready for row 2. Okay, row 2 is very simple. It is kind of mimicking row 1, but we're using double crochets instead. So we're going to chain 3. And that's going to count as our first double crochet. You can always do the tall chain and double crochet in there if you want no gaps between this stitch and the next stitch. But you're going to do a double crochet in that next single crochet. Then you're going to chain 2 with our beginning, I'm doing 3 chains, with the beginning of our stitch pattern. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets. And I mean pattern repeat. I'm all over the place. So another double crochet in that next single crochet. And then our repeat says to chain 2 again, only 2, and do 2 double crochets in that last stitch. So it's the same across, chain 2, double crochet 2 all the way to the end. And then we get ready for row 3, which is basically a repeat of row 1. So we're going to turn, chain 1, and single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then chain 2 again with our stitch repeat and single crochet. So this is a really easy pattern to watch TV with, because you're just looking at what you did the row before. If you see your tall double crochets, you know you should be single crocheting. If you see short little single crochets or a little bit of a gap between the chain 2s, you know it's time to double crochet. Just make sure you're getting into that turning chain. If you're using a chain 3, don't leave that stitch out or you'll start shrinking your project. So again, we chain 3, double crochet, and it really is that simple. Just do those 2 rows over and over again to get the length that you want. And I really dig this pattern because, and I really missed the boat with my sample. I didn't realize until as I was going that you could change color in like each little square in each row. You know, you would have a little squares of alternating color. So it would be a single crochet row and a double crochet row. So when you start, you would have, I'm on the wrong side here. This is my foundation. So do your foundation row in the first single crochet row in one color, double crochet row in one color, and then switch to single and double for the next one, and just keep doing that over and over again. And your actual traveling yarn up the side will be pretty short because that last row would have been a single crochet. So not too bad. I really like the way this pattern looks. This is not blocked at all. If you use a larger hook, you might have to block it a little when you have this is an H hook on worsted, or a 5mm, so it's very dense, so it doesn't have much room to move. If I used a J hook, it might be a little bit more floppy and might need a little bit more blocking. So just depending on what yarn you're using and what hook, you may have to block it. But it's a really cool kind of fabric that you get, and I like it. So that is the Bitchin blocks stitch pattern. I'm Deja with knitandcrocheteverafter.com, and thank you for watching.